Okay, this lesson for the Cornet Project class asks the question, can Bible Gematria help us have a rationale or give a rationale for the age of the earth and that um, ongoing dialogue and sometimes uh, debate and sometimes dispute over something called young versus old earthism. So we'll look at that briefly. I returned to the dry erase board after quite some time away from it, but a window of opportunity appeared, open that is, and I didn't want to miss it. So we'll look at this very quickly. I don't have a lot of time, and certainly we can cover this in a brief amount of time just by looking at the order of the alphabet. And so there's an ordinal, which I just say order in which it appears, 1 through 22. And then there's a standard value. So we'll just go from there and look at it. So 1, Aleph, Beth, Gimel, Daleth, Hey. So here 2, 3, 4, 5, Vav, 6. So these are the same at this point, ordinal and standard. 4, 5, 6. Zion, 7. Then we have Kath here, it's 8. Then we have block form here, Teth, 9. 9. Yod is 10. 10, Yod, Kaf is 11. But here we go to 20 for the standard value. Kaf, Lamed, that's 12, it's 30. Lamed, Mem, Mem, that's 13, that's 40. Mem, and we have Noon, that's 50. 14, Psalmic, 15, 60, Ion, 70, 16, Pay, sorry about that, Pay, that's 17, 80, Pay. And then we have Sadi, that's 90, it's 18, Kof, it's 100, 19, Resh, 20, 200, Shin, 21, and then 300, and then Tau, of course, that gives us 422. So we have 22 letters across, and now we'll go ahead and do Genesis 1:1, do the numeric value there based on the standard values, and see what we have. Bir, Ray, Sheath. You all cut your teeth on this one, so you know this one very well. So that's 2. Resh is 200. There's 1. Shin is 300. Yod is 10. Tau is 400. So at this point we have 400, 700, 913. So our letters have worked out. There's 7 words, 28 letters in Genesis 1:1. So now we have this value, so we'll put a plus sign so we can add this up. And then we have bara. Remember that. You have this one down by heart. First 3 letters in Bereshith is bara. So here we have 2, 201. So that gives us 203. And then we have Elohim, which you all know this one very well. If you haven't been keeping up, you need to go back to your dry erase board and iterate, do your deliberate practice again. Elohim, so we have 1. Lamed is 30. Hay is 5. Yod is 10. And Mem is 40. Oh, it's right there, so 40. So that's 70, 80, 86, name of God, or God, the name God. And then we have 8th, sign of the direct object when the object definite, 8th. So 1 and 400, 400 and 1. So that gives us 401 total. And then we have ha, sha, ma, im. So there's our 400, there's our 10, there's our 40, there's our shin 300, there's number 5 again. So we have 400, 700, 40, 50, 755. Wait a minute, mem, sorry, that's 40. My goodness. So we have 395, 395. So it's so easy, it's elusive. So we'll just pay attention here. So the heavens, I am eighth. Again, the eighth. So that's 6, 1, and 400. Sorry. So that's 407. 407. And then if I can squeeze that in there, I'll try it. So we have the heavens and haaretz. Aretz. Aretz. Oh, that's Sadi final form. So we have 5, 1, Resh again, right above me there, 200. And then Sadi's 90. So we have 296. So there's 296. So this, when added up, well, let's go ahead and check it. We don't want to cheat here and assume it just because we can remember it. 203, 86, 401. Make sure you get the number. 395, 407, and then 296. That's 13, 14. So 9, 10, 15, 22. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I left 9, 13, 6, 12, 13, 18, 25, 31, 8, 9, 12, 18, 30. That's 12, 15, 14, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 6 is 27. So yes, we get 2,701. Now go to Proverbs 3:19 for the word. It's kokma. Kokma. So we have 5, have 8, have 5 here. This is the ordinal value, and this is standard value. So we have 8, and then, so it's both, sorry, 8. Kof is 11. Mem is 13, but in its standard value, it's 40. Kof and the 20 is 20. So this equals these two numbers. That's 13, 24, and 5 is 29, 37. 37. And then, of course, this should be 60 and 30, okay, 73. That's what we were looking for. And you notice 37 and 73 are reflective. That's what it's called, or I've heard that called. I always said inverse, but they're reflective of one another. And then you'll notice that 37 is the 12th prime number. That's easy to check that out. 73 is the 21st prime number. Notice that. And going this way, because we're having to use our board. And then, of course, if we take 37 times 73, going this way, that equals 2,701. So we're starting to see the remarkable correlations, rationale between the Gematria, the numeric values of the numbers, the Genesis 1:1 text, and then taking Kokma, which is wisdom, from Proverbs 3:19, 3 and 19, 22. We have 22 letters. That's a good mnemonic device. And then going back to what we had studied when the dispute was more heated at the time, there was more energy. And like I said, if you want to study Bible languages, you really need to find the energy where the topics are, the controversies are, where the debate is, where's the discussion, and move in that direction. And then return to your Bible languages. And with that energy, notice if there's something in our languages, in the numbers that could help us. So we noticed the dispute was between a 6 to 20,000 chronological year assertion or affirmation, and then a 4.5 billion year. But we know there's no chronological years between Genesis 1:1 and 1:2. That's well established. Referential time didn't occur to much later. So we took the difference between 6 and 20,000 as a delta 7,000 years. Dr. Johnson and I had a great time discussing this, collaborating under the guidance of Dr. John Penn. We work as his research assistants. So we began with 6,000 and went in 250-year increments towards 7,000. And these are chronological years. And we did it at 12 hours a day. As Dr. John Penn noticed, there's 12 hours a day. That's what Jesus said. There's 12 hours in the day. So we went ahead and put 6,250 again at 12 hours night. Then we add this together. We got 12,500, which fit well within the 6 to 20,000 year range in the various disputes about the earth at 24 hours total. We can just underline that there. So we then took the 1 day, 1 to 1,000, and then 1,000 to 1 day. And this is a ratio. This is a ratio. And they are also, when we notice their relationship. Now this is in Peter. So we're in the New Testament now. So we notice these are reflective, just like the character of the language. So we took the 1 day to 1,000. So we multiplied 12,500 years times 360 days equaled 4.5 million days. And then we multiply that by 1,000 years. That equaled 4.5 billion years. Not chronological years, by the way. That's the accrued amount of decay. We then came the other direction, took the 4.5, so we're going 1,000 years to a day. 4.5 times 1,000 days, not years. 1,000 days is approximately 2.78 360-day years equals 12.5 billion. Not chronological, by the way. So we were able to establish a rationale for a recent Earth creation, chronologically speaking. We were able to demonstrate the accrued amount of decay, how much has the Earth suffered in its judgment and consequence of sin. And so we had that. And then we can notice also that the 2.78 and the number E, which is in John 1:1, when you take and do just simple arithmetic there, which that's another video, it equals, the number E equals 2.718281828459045. There we go. And you can write that out. You can check all this out yourself, but what we've done is, by just going back to our Hebrew alphabet, when sometimes you think, well, that's rudimentary, it is. And the numbers are very simple. The pattern's very obvious. You can write this out. You don't have to remember it. You can just, once you see the pattern, you can just rewrite it. Then when you're working on your language, you can write out a verse yourself. Now, there's videos out there with all types of gematria, so check this out on the videos. But for those of you that want to do this in your head, there's not a video out there except what we produced concerning the ratio and the uh, demonstration of chronological time, 12,500 chronological years can accrue 4.5 billion years of decay. We even noticed that interval between Genesis 1:1 and 1:2 in that original judgment that was once more readily taught uh, just 50 years ago of the original judgment against Lucifer and what God had done. So we noticed that it is a short or a catapult, if you will, an enormous event of judgment against what took place, that original sinner, that first sinner, Lucifer. So this is it. This is good information. It's a rationale, how Bible numbers, simple arithmetic. You can notice the veracity of a text written over 1,500 years span of time by 40 different authors from 3 different continents and 3 different languages from all walks of life. And you can see how this book is still credible beyond what was ever expected and certainly beyond what the critics who don't even care to evaluate. It's called source bias and source avoidance. So religionists might have a reason to avoid the Bible, like atheists and others have a reason to avoid it. So to not involve it or introduce it in the conversation definitely leaves us wanting and leaves us with large disparities in our assertions that can lead to nothing more than a diminished return on our investment, where it's more friction than collaboration. It's more argument than collective learning. So you have a blessed day. Enjoy this lesson. And I certainly did enjoy returning to the dry erase board. And I hope this helps you improve your value of the languages and the alphabet and just how much we can glean from it. So have a blessed day.